Hello guys! So we haven't seen each other for almost 2 weeks now, and that is because I've had a 2-week holiday and I just want to spend that time relaxing and that's what I have done. So on Monday I will start to work again, so yeah, I feel very sad about it because I want to be free for a longer time. Anyway, what this video will be about today is this little guy, which is Haruka. And what we will do today is a personality test. So, maybe 8 years ago or something, I heard from an American friend about a 16-type personality test, which is pretty usual to do in some parts of America, I understand, but it's nothing that people around here in Sweden and I guess outside of America know that much about. Anyway, I took this 16-type personality test 8 years ago when I heard about it, and I was an INFJ person. And I was curious to know what kind of person Haruka is. Like, I know who he is. I mean, I created him, so I know him the best. But he's a very interesting character. Like, of all my characters that I have in doll forms, Haruka is the one that inspires me the most and teaches me the most, actually. In some ways he's a lot like me, but in other ways he's not like me, and yeah, he teaches me a lot, and I'm just really curious about what kind of letter combination he is. I see him a little bit like he's having not two personalities, but like that he has that he's one person inside and he's protecting that person inside while by having such a strong shell around him that he almost seems a little bit like a different person outside. He is very curious in a way. How he reacts completely depends on the person he's in front of and what he feels at the moment and what's happening around him at that moment. You can say that he always analyzes everything all the time. He always like tests people if they are worthy of his trust, because he has a hard time really trusting people because of everything he's gone through. So in a way, he's not scared about telling things about himself. He can like tell the most nastiest secrets about himself that other people will probably like never tell anybody. He's telling just to see how you react when he's revealing these big secrets, and depending on how you react, he learns about you as a person, and depending on how you react, he judges you if he can trust you or not. And if you become Haruka's friend, you will have the greatest protector. If you're in trouble, he will step right out and try to fix all your problems, and he's like the best friend if you have him as a friend. If you have him as an enemy, he's a very hard spirit to break, because he will know so much about you and his heart will be such from a distance from you, so it's hard for you to hurt him, but he knows how to trigger everything in you so you will be hurt. So some people see Haruka as the most sweetest and cutest, most innocent boy ever. Some sees him as a sensual being, and some sees him as really mean and weird. So to see what kind of letter combination Haruka will become will be very interesting to me. And I'm guessing that it will be very hard for me to answer some of these questions because he's so different in different situations. But yes, let's start. So, to make this test, I have looked up the 2 sites that I used when I realized that I was an INFJ. And it was this site and this site, and I'm not sure really what one to use. I'm thinking about taking this site first and maybe test the other site too, if it becomes the same person. Anyway, so yeah, I will answer these questions as if I were Haruka and then see what kind of letter combination he becomes. Okay, so start the quiz. I might not show everything that I do in this test because I think it will take a lot of time. So to make this video a little bit shorter, I might just show some parts. When shopping for a vehicle, I will naturally focus more on its technical specs and functionality or overall look and feeling. I think you will go for the overall look and feeling. I feel mostly like myself when I'm handling practical matters, lost in my thoughts or imagination. Definitely lost in thoughts and imagination because Haruka is... I see him as like out of this world. He spends more time inside himself than outside. I am probably more self-revealing or self-aware. I will say both. He protects himself like really much, and he only shows what he wants you to react to. But in the same time, he reveals the most greatest secrets about himself, just to see how you react. So self-revealing, maybe, I don't know. This was a really hard question. After making a decision or drawing a conclusion, I typically don't change my mind, at least not in a major way, or often end up questioning every hour, tuning my ordinary judgment. He is so stubborn, so yep. In social encounters, I'm more inclined to make assertions or ask questions. He definitely asks questions. He have this little game that he calls the midnight tea party, when he make a little tea party and ask questions. And the rule is that you have to answer, and when you have answered, you are free to ask him any question and he will answer truthfully. I have historically been more hesitant, timed and careful, outgoing, bold and assertive. Outgoing. I see him as outgoing. When others are hurting emotionally, I feel for them and move to help, or tend to feel intrigued and outside my comfort zone. This is a hard question again, because that depends definitely on who's feeling these things. But yeah, he feels for them and moves to help. Most of the times he will really feel for them and help. We're learning about something new. I first want some specific examples or a broad overview. Both. He first wants a broad overview and then some specific examples, and then he knows exactly what to do. A broader overview. It always starts with that. Which is more likely to capture your attention? A new theory or explanation, or a new fact or happening? What will first get his attention is probably a theory or an explanation, and then he will probably work to get all the facts right. So yeah, new theory or explanation. If I'm forced to choose, I would rather have one great friend or many good friends. He feels good about having many good friends around him. He's hard time to like being really close to somebody, but I really think that he really would want a really good friend. But it always ends up in just being many good friends instead of a great friend. I think he would rather have a great friend, but he mostly have just good friends. But if he had to pick, he would probably pick a really great friend. In my view, it is more important to be self-aware or self-confident. Both, but self-confidence in his view will probably take you longer. Because if you believe in yourself, you're more able to get what your heart desires. So in social situations, I tend to be more in the background or foreground. He's a good speaker, and also he's used to have all the eyes on him, so he's like really in the foreground. When making a decision, I mostly consider what will work best or what does align with my morals or values. He makes most of his really hard decisions based on his feelings. Basically, all his decisions he basically do from his feelings about them. And it's not always right, but yeah, he basically does all his decisions based on his feelings. In general, I feel responsible for or compelled to meet the needs of others, or prefer to not be bothered with others' personal needs. I feel a little bit both. I feel like he is a bomb of feelings, really. That he feels a lot for people, and especially a lot for animals. Especially people in need. He tends to easily get disappointed in other people. So in the same times as he feels really responsible for everything, he also feel like he doesn't want to be bothered with it, because if he is, he will feel so much. So I feel like I should answer, feel responsible. With my intimates, I'm inclined to expressly state what I think or feel, or bite my tongue to minimize conflict. He always says what he thinks and feels, so yeah, that was an easy one. To recharge and feel my best, I need plenty of quiet and alone time or out about time. That also depends. Sometimes he feels tired of the outside world, and then he needs to like go inside himself draw for 2-3 days, or take pictures and fix them and redecorate his room, or dance and he recharges himself, or like deals with his conflicts of the world he have seen during that period. But sometimes he needs a rest from all the feelings he's feeling inside, and when that happens, he needs to go out and do fun stuff. So he forgets about everything he deals with inside his mind. So it's both. Quiet and alone time. He's an artist above all, so. But yeah, well, then again, he would do both. It just like depends on what he needs to recharge from. I have historically been more inclined towards competition or cooperation. I would say competition. He's not really like he needs to try to compete with anybody really, but I would not really see him as historically being very cooperating. I will say competing then, because he's always like, I will win against the world I'm living right now. They will not get to me. So yeah, he is competitive in that way. He never gives up. I often find myself stepping back to consider how things are related or interconnected, or focusing most on my concerned affair. He analyzes everything, as I said, so he considers things how they are related and connected. When asked to plan a vacation, I would likely plan carefully and thoroughly, perhaps even formulating a timeline or agenda, or plan only a rough outline, expecting to figure out everything else on the fly. I would say plan only a rough outline, because yeah, he would probably like, oh, you're going to Paris? Okay, I want to see the Eiffel Tower, I want to see Sacré-Cœur, I want to see blah blah blah, but except from that, I just want to experience the city. So he would have some things that he wants to do. He would probably not say exactly what day he wants to do the certain things. But he can maybe like wake up in the morning and say like, oh, okay, today we can go to the Eiffel Tower. And after that you're like, oh shit, okay, what to do now? And then they would, yeah, just like figure out everything else as they go. I would describe my emotional life as rich, nonsense and complex, or rather straightforward and complicated. Oh, his life is not uncomplicated, so it's really complex. Which better describe you? I am primarily down to earth, or abstract or creative, though it well becomes a break from everyday affairs. Yeah, he's an artist, so yeah, the second answer is the right one. Okay, Finnish quiz. 40 on scale 1. If you are scored 0 to 40, you prefer an extroverted approach to life. So he's an E. 90 on scale 2. If you are scored 60 to 100, intuition is your preferred mode of perception. So he's an E and 90 scale 3. If you're 60 to 100, you make a judgment parameter through the feelings. ENF. And last one is 50. Okay, so it's both J or P. So yeah, he's like in the middle of J or P. So he's both equally. You particularly show your judging side of the world, or he's totally show your receiving side of the world. Okay, so he's both J and P. So what to say? E and F J maybe. E and F J. So what does it say about Haruka? Okay, let's read your personality, Haruka. I don't feel like this will be accurate because, yeah, as you notice on many of the questions, I didn't know what to answer because he is both. Because he's like one person on the inside and another person on the outside sometimes. So it was really hard on some questions. But it says here that, like the INFJ personality type, like me, the ENFJ is among the rarest of the 16 types, comprising only about 2 to 3 of the population. ENFJs are warm, engaging, charismatic, persuasive, and talkative. Yeah. These personality traits contribute to their status as kings and queens of the social realm. ENFJs can quickly read and establish rapport with others because of their love for people and formidable social intelligence. ENFJs develop extensive network of friends, acquaintances, and social connections. At some point, they realize they can use their powers of pursuing to get nearly anything they want. From that point forward, they must wrestle with the degree to which they are willing to use their charm and charisma to achieve their goals. Yeah, it is accurate. Yeah, there is a lot to read here. And so far I feel that there's a lot of things in here that is accurate to how I see Haruka. And of course some things that are less accurate. I feel that these were so few questions. I remember that it took like 45 minutes for me to answer all the questions, and then it was like a scale of how much do you agree and how much do you not agree and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe it was a little bit too less questions to really get a right answer. But as I said, I feel like a lot of this in an ENFJ is accurate to how I see Haruka, so maybe it is accurate. It's not so much time left until I have to leave, because I will go to see Suicide Squad. And before Suicide Squad, I want to go to a restaurant, an Indian restaurant, to eat Indian food. So yeah, I think I will end it here. If you want to see more videos like that, I would really like you to press the like button and write in the comments below what you want to see next. Like if you want me to make this kind of test for my other characters, or if you want me to make another test with Haruka, another like 16 type personality test with Haruka to see if it becomes the same person again, when they have same letter combination again, or if it doesn't. Or yeah, what you want to see. But yeah, I really need to go, and I'm suspecting that I will come home pretty late, so this video will probably not be uploaded until Sunday. Your special little boy Haruka. Bye!